गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गणेश शॉट। गणेश शॉट में आप सबको स्वागत है। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द रिच पाकिस्तान and the poor Pakistan. As you see in this picture, the rich Pakistan is dangerous. The poor Pakistan is toxic. And both are at war forever. I've been having this notion for quite some time. It's not something new. But it came forth, when Wall Street Journal reported that Pakistan is developing long-range missile capabilities which can target USA. And then the Deputy National Security Advisor, John Feiner of USA, he stated this. He says Pakistan has developed increasingly sophisticated missile technology, from long-range ballistic missile systems to equipment that would enable the testing of significantly large rocket motors. It's not simple, this technology. I mean, I'm dealing with it, so I know it. Or rather, I've dealt with it in a big manner. It's a sophisticated technology, just the rocket motor. Okay. And he says Islamabad's conduct raises real questions about the aims of its ballistic missile program. Candidly, it's hard for us to see Pakistan's actions as anything other than an emerging threat to the United States. If these trends continue, Pakistan will have the capability to strike targets well beyond South Asia, including in the United States. It will be the third country which will have this, rather the fourth country: Russia, China, North Korea, and now Pakistan. Is it something new? Is it something out of the blue that Pakistan always plays a double game? It's not. But yet most of us felt, oh, Pakistan is poor, it's gone. A lot of people said, it's going to break up any day, all that. Nothing has happened. You've seen what has happened. They've been developing missile capabilities. And, well, just to put it in context, I said this long back, and I'll show you in my video. Yeah, here it goes. And I see the revival of Pakistan. Forget about the economy. The economy is one part of the story. And we all know that the army is not bothered about the economy of the country. It is going in for submarines. It is in fact exporting its aircraft, whatever it is making under license from China.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. This was a main Hangar submarines from China. So the military aspect of Pakistan is not down and out. And politically, they've come back into relevance the way it is. I suppose in a month or so, they're going to be completely back in the game. I will not give more than that, maybe 2 months, but they have to be back in the game. So, this was clear what's happening in Pakistan. And there are two Pakistans existing, I've always maintained. There's one Pakistan which is poor, of the masses, who don't know what's happening, which is being left to run by an illegal government, or it doesn't matter, backed by the army, a hybrid model, all that nonsense. That can keep, sarta rahe, it doesn't matter. There's another Pakistan with the Pakistan army. I've always maintained that there are two Pakistans. And this Pakistan is militarily strong, it is rich with its military businesses. It has never won a war, but every time it gets defeated, it comes back politically stronger. And why? Because it keeps its people absolutely in a poor shape. The people have nowhere else to go but to come back to the army. So whatever they get, and they have ensured that the most useless politicians are kept to govern them. So before we decide and think, Pakistan is a spent force and all that. Remember this. Yeah. So Pakistan is not a spent force by any stretch of imagination, right? And we need to look at Pakistan anew. Complete 2024, we felt Pakistan will, go away. It's not. It's come back with a vengeance, and that's what we need to realize. So 2025, we're gonna handle two different Pakistans, and those two different Pakistans are what I'm going to highlight today. You know, when you look at Pakistan, I've always maintained. I've shown this. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've shown this. There are two Pakistans. One is the army, which is the center of the power. Two is the state, which is the center of the governance. It's a big difference between the two, right? And when you talk of them, the army, which is the center of the power, is rich with its military businesses, with its lucrative deals. It just skims the, cream, whatever the cream is in Pakistan's budget. And the rest is given to the masses. And then there's the state which is poor. That's what we normally look at. We know about the first thing, but we ignore it for some funny reason. Okay. Continuous wars in the history of Pakistan have destroyed the state. The state is decrepit. But, like I said earlier, the army has become stronger. The center of power has never been destroyed. In fact, day by day, it is becoming stronger. And to make it stronger, you have China. Okay. What are the eternal issues of Pakistan? Political instability, internal radicalism, economy, Pashtun problem, and Baluch rebellion. These are the toxic aspects of Pakistan. This is the toxic Pakistan which we have to continually deal with. What is of importance is this India. That's why I made it a little bigger. You have to understand, as far as the Pakistan army is concerned, its very existence depends upon sorting out India in the long run. How to take revenge on India and win a war against India. Winning a war against, USA and, in Afghanistan and all is of no use to them. It's a mentality. And they will do anything to achieve that state. Right? They'll sell the nation, they'll sell themselves, whatever it is. India has to be defeated. Now, look at their arms and equipment. Completely China oriented and Turkey oriented of late. Right? This is the Air Force inventory. If you look at the Air Force inventory, now 45% of China's Air Force, of Pakistan's Air Force is Chinese origin. And 65% of its modern attack fleet is Chinese. We have to understand how much the dependence on China and how much Pakistan wants to be up to it to take on India. Look at the Navy. The Navy is even worse. If you look at the Navy as a whole, you will see that, again, everything is China. What USA, France, own Pakistan, UK, others are all legacy systems. They're not new. Everything modern in the Pakistan Navy is Chinese. And that's what I've put down below. Frigates, Zulfikar class frigates, right? And 4 more. That is 8 frigates are coming from China. Hangor class submarines. These are diesel submarines. They're being given to China. This will be there with them in the next 4 5 years. Then cruise missiles, anti-ship cruise missiles, everything, the works. And then the army, same issue. 68% of tanks are Chinese origin. Fire units, 51%. Okay, anti-aircraft artillery, 74% is Chinese. This is PLA with experience. Just think, well-equipped PLA with experience. What will be the? This is it. If you look at this graph, you see that curve on the top which is taking off. That's the Chinese curve, and this is from 1950 to 2021. See how it has just taken off. Purchases from China are equal to the sum total of purchases from everywhere else. Okay, and when you project it up to 2030, this is it. More than 50 to 60% of the Pakistan armed forces will be Chinese in origin. What more do you want? You don't need a bigger, placard telling you, look, the conventional threat from Pakistan is increasing. Okay. And the next aspect is this Pak-Turkey cooperation. And now Turkey has got its tail up in Syria. Remember that. This is the thing. The way it has gone. It's got UAVs, everything is being given to Pakistan. Okay. Attack hepters works. Bayraktar UAVs. I'll not go into the details. The details are there in the slide. And now Pakistan is seeking stealth technology from China, the latest stealth technology. And China is interested in giving it. Their talks on. They might get it maybe in 4 5 years. But in this business, 4 to 5 years, nothing. Okay. Recently, the Chinese, deputy president of the Central Military Commission, Zhang Yuxia, he went to Pakistan, sat with Asim Munir. At the end of the day, they've just finished a 3-week-long anti-terrorism exercise. With whom? With the PLA in Pakistan. Using some parts of PLA, some parts of the paramilitary forces, and some part of a major part being the private security contractors. PLA means the boots on the ground were not there, but the officers were there. So there's a new paradigm coming up, and I've spoken about this earlier also. 8 stealth submarines. They're launched. They are being built exclusively for Pakistan. Of course, I've spoken of that stealth fighter deal. Okay, joint drills, which were to be held in November. I mean, they've gone through the whole thing. Naturally, all these drills are aimed at the Indo-Pacific strategy. I mean, I don't have to tell it again and again. This is again an interesting thing. If you look at this slide, you will see have a look at it, I'll magnify it. Have a look at it from 2003 to 11. This is the first part. Okay. Military diplomacy with Pakistan and Russia. I mean, China has great, when you say military diplomacy, what is it? It is military exercise, port calls, and activities. Right from beginning, the activity and the military exercises with Pakistan are much more than with Russia. And now it is even more. You look at that green line on top as you go down from 2016 onwards. Why? Have you thought of it? This is important. China does more military exercises with Pakistan than any other country. Have you realized that? Okay, this is an interesting thing. This has come out, this part of the thing is an extract from the annual document which USA has put out about PLA. And there they've said the Aerospace Support Force of PLA operates TTNC, tracking terminals and control stations, in Namibia, Pakistan, Argentina, and Kenya. So, what we say that Wang class, Yuan Wang, spy ships, which came to Hambantota or went to Maldives, which can track satellites and it can track missile tests. That's in the sea. On ground, these are the four countries. For Asia, it is Pakistan where they have a terminal. So it's just not giving. This is no more the case of just giving, what shall I say, equipment and say, Pakistan, be happy, do what you want with it. There is a deep connect happening. And just this year, China restructured the strategic support force into aerospace support force, the logistics support force, and the information support force. There's a focus. And with this, Pakistan gets space capability. If you think a tracking terminal is kept in Pakistan, Pakistan will not get the value out of it. Okay, then there's new road. They want an alternate CPC. They've been at it for a long time. I've shown this earlier, but I'm trying to now put it into a bigger picture. Yeah, this is it. Again, I'll expand it so that you can have a look. Right? Okay, this is the road. This is the existing road. This blue one, CPC. They want an alternative which can go through the Himalayas at a place called Mustaq Pass, hit Skardu and get down. Now the point is that, and this is through the Shaksgam Valley, and they're actively trying to get through with it. This might not happen 1 year, 2 years, but it's something like that mega dam, Brahmaputra Dam. It's a threat. And unless we are conscious of the fact that the level of threat from China and Pakistan together is much more, you'll never know how to respond to it. We are all very happy that China has gone back. It has withdrawn, all that. But I see a strengthening of Pakistan, equally of Bangladesh. And I'll talk of it. I'll talk of China's military strategy for the next 10 years, what it will be very soon, in the first week of January. Just wait for it. And Pakistan forms an important aspect of that military strategy. So, the toxic Pakistan will keep giving you trouble, like it's happening now. There's a kitbit between Afghanistan and Pakistan, Durand Line, some problem in Jammu and Kashmir, all that will go on. Now, that toxic Pakistan will come back to us through Bangladesh. Are we alive to it? We'll talk of it tomorrow with General Hasnain. This is no more a foreign policy issue. This is a issue of military response. Okay. So if I summarize, what do I see? There'll be an increased presence of Chinese in Pakistan. Gwadar will emerge as a major Chinese naval base with a great maritime orientation. The rumor is that Gwadar will be the first overseas command of China. That's the dream, the China dream. Very soon, Pakistan army will have 60 to 70% Chinese arms. They are looking at hypersonic weapons. Technology from where? China. It is understood that they have tested a MIRV. And they're also looking at an anti-ship ballistic missile like DF-21. And they will get Bedu for navigation and positioning. All this is on the cards. I mean, you don't need to be a super intelligent guy to know all this will happen. And of course, there'll be two routes CPCs coming in the future. Okay. And look at their missiles. None of their missiles have a range which can reach USA. But they have certain ranges. But with the new capability which they are getting, we have to understand where are they getting it from. Right? Rocket motors, everything will probably come from North Korea or China. Is there any other third place? Of course not. Initially, when Pakistan developed its missile capability, the proliferation of missile technology was from North Korea, enabled by China. And the nuclear technology came from China. So it's one of the two. It's either or. It could be both. And Pakistan is now emerging as a great catspaw for China to achieve its ends. Okay. Look at this map. Now we know that at Djibouti, which is this lower star, and this is Gwadar. With this, they will be able to control the entire West Arabian Sea. That means the oil lines coming out of Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf of Aden. With the kind of capability which Pakistan is developing. And it also has missile capability, it has got air force capability, everything. Some of those aircraft they'll get, we will not get. We are struggling still. That's a different story. Now, look at this. Of course, the new missile capability which they are developing or which USA has claimed to develop will target India. But definitely, it will target Israel also, most definitely. But importantly, it has the capability of targeting US forces in Qatar or Bahrain, Central Command forces. Also, Digo Garcia. They don't have to go and hit the mainland. Just think, China takes care of Guam and Pakistan takes care of Diego Garcia. Then what's the change in the Indo-Pacific? It comes to the thing, what do we do? What do we do? Very clearly, there are three countries which are being targeted in this. India, Israel and USA. You think Pakistan will keep quiet at it? Pakistan will, while they'll say they're stunned, we don't want sanctions, this, that, they'll crawl at America's feet, they'll grovel at them, but they will start this blackmailing. This will help them get back into action. Now they'll say, I have nuclear weapons and I have the capability to hit America. In any case, whether they have the capability or not, America has said it. So, de facto, they have it. And America wouldn't have said it without certain capability being observed. So now they'll start telling Saudis and all of guys, cough up for us. So you'll see the Gulf countries bankrolling China. Bankrolling Pakistan. For Pakistan to revive economically. Those are the cards. Will it affect the rest of the Pakistan? Like I said, it doesn't matter to the Pakistan army. What do we do? The $1 million question is, what do we do? Have we thought through this situation? Virtually, you have an army which is a clone of the Chinese army, but with better credentials, fighting credentials. You have a greedy set of generals. There's yet another twist I'll give you. These Pakistani generals are so greedy and so chalak that at some point of time they'll start blackmailing China also. That you keep giving us what we want, otherwise we'll sort you out. Okay? So this is what is on the cards, the way I look at it. Okay? But this is what Imran Khan said. अगर आप गधे के ऊपर लकीरें डाल दो, वो ज़ीब्रा नहीं बनता, वो गधा गधा ही रहता है. So you have two Pakistans. It's very difficult to break the rich Pakistan. Okay, but target that gada, as Imran Khan has said. आप अगर गधे को ऊपर लकीरें डाल दो, वो ज़ीब्रा नहीं बन जाता. तो पाकिस्तान का basic औकात won't change. So is there a case for a hybrid approach to Pakistan? Like Pakistan has had this hybrid approach with us for a long time. We have to rethink. Can we use Israel and USA and good offices with Saudis to sort these fellows out? We must. We have to think out of the box. People will say, oh, long back Israel said we will come and take out Pakistan nuclear capabilities. You didn't allow us. Well, those were different days. Okay. वो तो गया. Now, how do you look ahead? What do you do? Is something which we have to think. And it won't be easy for Israel also to do anything at this point of time because its hands are full. And we'll have to see how Mr. Trump behaves. We are talking too much of Mr. Trump because he doesn't run the world. One man won't change the world. But we have an issue at hand. Okay. The last thing. This is something which I read in Pakistan newspaper long back. जो मर गया वो शहीद, जो जीत गया वो गाजी, जो सरेंडर किया वो न्याजी. This is right. So you're going to see Pakistan as Ghazis or Nyazis. Time will tell, and our way of doing things will tell how things will move ahead. Right. With this, I have come to the end of today's talk on Pakistan. To reiterate, there is going to be a rich Pakistan of the army who will trouble us. There is going to be a poor Pakistan which will be toxic. And how we deal with them is of concern. I wouldn't say concern, something which we have to think of. This is what will come in front of us. and let's see how it goes. Okay, this today's open hour hereafter for the next half an hour. I have a lot of time. Uh, will be the last open hour of this year. Um, Tomorrow we're going to have uh, General Hasnain talking about Bangladesh, and day after I'll talk of India and China on 31st evening. What do I see? How, what will be China's and India's role in the global stage, or as it affects the world order, and from a Chinese perspective. I'm not going to talk of what I think. I'll say what how Chinese view us. Like I said, it's always important to know what the Chinese think of us. Right. With this, we will go ahead with questions. All your questions. I have kept a lot of time for this open house, so we'll take them on. Yeah, there is also Mullah Pakistan, like we have mullahs of Bangladesh. They are neither poor not fully powerful, but they are always gaining power due to poor, backward, radical institution. I agree with you completely, Dunga. Thanks for coming after a long time. I'm seeing you. Yeah, we'll talk about this tomorrow. The Mulladam, which is coming up in Bangladesh, and which is, but we'll talk about this tomorrow with Jalal Hasnain. Yeah, strong army means gay increase as the poor rich holders can't. No, I don't see that too much as a issue. Earlier, the USA gave Pakistan weapons free. Is China arming it now free of cost to control it as its vassal state? China will proliferate weapons, and China has to pay a price to Pakistan so that it can get Gwadar. The uh, the price Pakistan and China will settle to for China to operate from Gwadar is the issue. What is the price? We don't know. Uh, Pakistan army is too smart to become a vassal of China. They have their own agenda. At one point of time, I told you they might even blackmail China. So don't think that's not out of the equation, right? So I don't think Pakistan. You see, that's what we normally think. China is rich, Pakistan is poor, they're bankrupt, they're in debt, all that. But if you look at the way Pakistan generals are handling China, China will have to think twice before it takes the next step. Look, if you're invested in too much of a chat, Pakistan says, I'll not repay you, do what you want. What will China do? What if it sends a few terrorists into Xinjiang? So Pakistan has got a lot of cards. That's the thing. Good reasons, despite good reasons, for reasons best known to the decision makers, no wars have been fought since 1999. If the Yeah, I think so. That's a good decision, but is it the final thing? I don't know. I don't see a war taking place in the next 5 6 years, but you never know how things can get triggered. So let's wait. So, as you say, Pakistan army wants to take revenge on India. However, what did India ever do to deserve? Okay, every war is started by Pakistan asking for your insight into their mentality. You broke their country, as simple as that. You denied Kashmir to them. Every time they came to war with you, they instigated war. All wars they've instigated so far, whether it's 47, 65, 71, or Kargil, they've lost. And they feel that they are the strongest army and the most smart chaps, and all the Indian army is useless. So there is a element of uh, emotion in it that can't go. They hate us. Hate is a strong emotion. Pakistanis are not only India hater but everything Hindu, which helps to pollute minds of both Hindus and Muslims in India. I agree with you. Uh, We don't have any interest in India, so as long as India does what it is told to do, so everything will be okay. You bloody fool! You think India will do what you want to be done, right? That's what I have. India will not do what it is told to do. Who will tell India to do what it is told? USA. USA can take a walk. They know it. China. They've taken a walk anyway. They've gone back. Pakistan. You try anything, and from Pakistan, you'll have two states there. You that yeah, have a two-state solution. There'll be a three-state or four-state solution. Should we go aggressive in the West against Pakistan and force West to take positions between India and Pakistan instead of always us being forced by West to take positions? Yeah, we don't have to go aggressive against Pakistan. We could tell USA, you choose who's your threat and who's your friend. Any case, Pakistan, they will look. You look at it the other way around. USA itself feels the threat. If USA has come out with the statement, there's more to the story. So leave it at that. How can Pakistan army threaten the USA when the retirement plan involves parking their wealth in the West? Well, that's the beauty of Pakistan army. Blackmail. Blackmail is huge, and Pakistan, USA might well still buy them off and give them a better retirement plan. And for all you know, the Pakistanis are seeking that retirement plan. Look, they don't bother about the rest of the country. They are interested in their own skin, revenge against India, and live happily ever after. So, by building a rocket motor and telling USA indirectly that I can hit you, if I can get a better retirement plan, why not? In terms of foreign policy communication, shouldn't we make it very clear to the West that India's commitment to the West is predicated on the commensurate actions against Pakistan armed forces? I don't think we have to tell it in as explicit words, right? I'm sure these are spoken of already at the right level. It's not at the normal bureaucrat level that such talks go on. But okay, let me give you a personal view. Okay, I've dealt with Americans, uh, the average Americans, the average bureaucrats, military bureaucrats. They don't like Pakistan. They don't trust Pakistan. China to chodo. So I think things will work out. We have to see Trump in action. He's the unknown quantity. Commitment to the West against China, I agree. Temporary pause by China and they're strengthening Pakistan against India, its strategy. Yes, this is one of the strategies, but you have to understand it in a larger frame. That's what I'll do, uh, you know, the first week of January. Okay, because tomorrow we talk of Bangladesh, day after tomorrow I'll talk of India and China. From a Chinese perspective, what we should look at in 25. Then I will do two programs in the first week of January. One on China's military strategy and their orientation for the next 10 years. It's now clear, very clear. Okay. And even USA has put some forces in the Pacific. We'll analyze that. And the second thing is, where is China going itself? What will happen to China at 25? We'll make that assessment. Toxic Pakistan and troublemaker China will continue their games, while in Bangladesh and India, we are too busy finding mosque or temple and all buildings and allowing too much hate. Look, the problem, Dunga, is that China and Pakistan are investing into Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is welcoming them. Your country is welcoming them. Okay, that's the problem. I don't know how to get out of this whole story. We'll see how it is. We'll discuss tomorrow. Given the geopolitical heft and alignments, it is unlikely that Pakistan would strike either Israel or US airbase at Qatar or elsewhere. An attack on Bharat is a high probability event. Your views? I won't count anything out in this. And that it need not be straight, it can be hybrid. What happened in 9/11? You think 9/11 Pakistan didn't have a hand? Let's be realistic. Will cunning open USA open all fronts in the Middle East and Southeast Asia against this enemy, which are in? Yeah, they will. They will do anything. USA will do anything in its interest. See, in this game, you have to understand that every country will do what is in its interest. Yeah. Okay, I don't blame USA for doing what it is. Let them do. You know it. You do what is in your interest. That's the more important. Okay, there's a new member. Oh, God. Yeah, Sanjay PR, thanks a lot for joining me as a member. I'll take this opportunity. I'll be grateful if more of you subscribe to Gunner Shot, and all of you, or some of you, or whoever can become members. Like I keep saying, this money from memberships go for a good cause, education of a girl child. So, right, and that's all I can say. But we're gonna have interesting times ahead. Uh, for those of you, to put it in perspective, you'll get the best analysis from my channel. On that, don't have a doubt. Pakistan's hatred towards India is understood. But why is China anti-India so much? They plot every minute against us. Let's wait till 31st. 31st evening, we'll do this China and India. They're thinking. I've always maintained, if China has to become, superpower, it has to overcome USA and India. It's not stated, but it is there. Yeah, what if after skirmish with them, we no longer allow them to go scot-free as in the past and get a pound of flesh, beating the narrative that after every conflict they're arming up? How do you do it, Jack? I have not understood it. That's the point. How do you do it? They'll get defeated. And then what? They'll again come back stronger. That's the point. Yeah. Do you think it'll end up as India selling Gulf states missile defense to head off Pakistan? There's a good opportunity. As far as I'm concerned, if you can do that, you strengthen your equations, you deny Pakistan a lot of money, and you also earn from your defense exports. So we have to think differently. So how do you see India analyzing the threats you spoke about? Are our agencies and the government proactive? What is your analysis? Yeah, we are proactive, uh, but my problem is that, and we've been proactive in the hybrid zone. We've reached out to Taliban, which is very good, uh, right? And a lot of things are happening which I can't even talk. But today, why I did is this new facet of Pakistan has to be understood. That's the thing. And conventional wars have come back with a bang. Okay. And I mean, today's conventional war is a hybrid war. We know it. So we'll have to see how to do this whole story. Where do the non-military rich in Pakistan stand in its political economic landscape? The non-military rich uh, are the elite which support the army. It's in their interest that the army stands because they get the money out of it. They get the power. So, it's a toxic state. I mean, at the end of the day, why is the army so slow to induct Indian-made 152, 155, 52 caliber guns? Kalyani has from 8 tons to 18-ton guns. See, I would suggest you go and see the thing I did with Sneha Shesh Alex Phillips. Okay, uh, in Gunner Shot, you'll understand. It's not so simple that you go and buy a gun or a tank like you buy, vegetables. It has to be based on a plan. And Mr. Kalyani's 155 gun is being bought anyway at tax. We have to look beyond that. And that 18 tons is out of the equation. We don't need it. Okay, what should be our policy against Pakistan? Credible deterrence or punitive deterrence? It has to be punitive deterrence. There's no other choice. Unless you have capability for punitive deterrence, uh, Pakistan won't mend itself. Part of punitive deterrence is being credible. Actually, the two kinds of deterrence are punitive deterrence, that is, deterrence by punishment, deterrence by denial. And both have to be credible. You should have the capability in this, not talk. You should have the capability to do it and demonstrated capability to do it. Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot. I'm not going to UK at all by any stretch of imagination. So you mentioned the poor part of Pak and its growing insurgency. That's a liability for China. Should India fund the Baluch military or fund their political movement instead? Yeah, that's one of the options. That's one of the hard options. Nothing is ruled out. Whatever is good for our interest, we should do it. Some analysts say government of Pakistan is poor, but most of the people are middle class and black economy is double the official. Yeah, I agree with you. But generally, the people are in misery there. That is a known situation, and the army lives in luxury. Yeah, Pak strategy is and has been to play the Gauri. Yeah, defeated many times and come back for Prithviraj till they succeed. Yeah, I suppose you're right there. And this is the mentality of those people, and especially the Pakistan army, which you cannot wish away. How will Taliban face off with Pak impact Pak strategic situation? Will Pak keep Taliban at bay, or is there a chance Taliban could turn Pakistan into a Syria? How will Pak handle Taliban threat? Let's see how it's being played out. These chaps went and did the airstrikes in Afghanistan. Let's see what Taliban does now. You see, our hope lies in that poor Pakistan. Huh? If it goes poorer and there's some kind of a revolution, there are two ways you can defeat this whole story. I wouldn't mind even Imran Khan coming back and taming the army. There are many options. So let's see how things go. Yeah, the more Pakistan buys China equipment, the better it is. China will be over by 2030 and Pak will be saddled with equipment that is somewhat similar to this USSR disintegration. In this case, China is small. You're very optimistic, Chandrasekhar, but I'm not so optimistic on 2030. It might happen by 2040. You have a point. Okay? You have a point. I have no doubt about it. So, about Pak blackmail, Pakistani population is projected to be 400 million. Failed state Pakistan can fill our west coast with refugees. Is the I don't think so. This is we'll handle it, Joes. Don't worry. Yeah, Rajat. The Shanghai is middle class in ruins. Even state company heads bankrupt. Homes drop from. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to talk of it in the first week of January. Things are in a bad shape in China. There's no doubt about it. What possible logic would have enticed Rasim Munir to do this? I'm sure he knows better than us about Taliban's suicide bombing capabilities. Is there something I'm not seeing in this? You see, the thing with Taliban is it's got limited capability to, it doesn't have the capability to sustain anything beyond Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Even in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, it doesn't have the capability to take over Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It will keep troubling. It will keep bleeding Pakistan. And our aim should be to see that this bleeding doesn't stop. I'll leave it at that. How do you see the present conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan playing out? Like I told you, Pakistan will continue to bleed. The more it bleeds, the better it is. Okay. Yeah, from Pakistan. Why are Indians so worried about Pakistan? Why can't Indians leave Pakistan alone? Pakistan is a danger for India, whether it is rich or poor. Why India perceives Pakistan as an enemy? Because you chaps behave as an enemy. There's no doubt. Let's not have any doubts about it. The way the army behaves, everything. That's how it is. Yeah. So it is said that junior leadership and soldiers talk of the Pak army is good. So how come they've taken such a beating against slipper donning semi-trained jihadis that barely know how to load an RPG? Because Pakistan doesn't have the staying power to do this. The staying power to be in CI needs much more capability. And so Pakistan resorts to a lot of firing, a lot of mayhem, which isn't the way to go about handling, hybrid situations. Force is not the solution in hybrid situations. I think Indians cannot sleep without thinking about Pakistan. India is like that old ex that can never move on. You're not moved on, Sab. Let's be very clear. You guys have never moved on. Your generals have never moved on. If Afghanistan approaches for SAMs for AD to Greater Pakistan, then should we oblige? Remember, we also sold our arms to Tatmadaw. We will face US pressure. Can we? All this we can handle. So, China ka sixth generation fighter jets trial run. Your view? They only it's a trial run. Let's see the thing. I mean, at one level, I'm concerned that they've come up with the sixth generation machine. Others are still in fifth and fifth, 5.5 generations. But the second way of looking at it is you're also being subject to some good information warfare. At this. Okay, it's only a trial run, and when this capability will come out on ground is to be seen. That's one. And secondly, fighting in Tibet is different. Okay, and that's why I said the strategy. You have to understand the Chinese strategy, why it is doing what it is doing, and we'll talk of it when I come to that. Will Taliban get stuck if they do conventional warfare against Pak army? How do you see the military escalation between Pak and Taliban? Look, very clear. Uh, Taliban doesn't have conventional capability. It is all unconventional capability. So they'll do only that. Yeah, NRK. What is it about Pakistan that it continuously engages in harakiri despite facing losses every single time? Is it religious or political ideology or army control or incompetent polity? All of the above. All. They have a mentality that they're a frontline state. They're a fighting nation. They're a nation at war, and nation born in war and live in war, and all that. I did a three-part series on Pakistan Army. Have a look at that. This is the only army which has an ideological frontier, not the territorial frontier. It, it controls the jihadist ideology. So that's how it is. Okay, so I think I've done all your questions was answered. Before I finish off, tomorrow we're going to talk of Bangladesh, 8 o'clock with General Hasnain. Do join in. And those of you who are seeing this for the first time, please subscribe to Gunner Shot, right? And also kindly become members of the channel. Thank you. Good evening and Jai Hind.